The Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. We broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We're going to get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us, we got Chris Ruffalo with us. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Welcome back, Sean Murphy to the Drive-Thru. You got Wayne Scott, Big Al McMorty, Alan Enos, Rod Zawacki. Not pictured is Dana Lane, who'll sign in bottom of the hour. Here's how they'll sign up for this evening. Ruffalo, Mitch McMorty, Scott, Nino, Zawacki, Lane, Murphy, and I will close this one out. A full boat here on a Wednesday. And of course, let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Chris Ruffalo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch him every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time here with the morning show. Also, with that Puck Dogs video series with the NHL with Chris and Rod. Chris also contributes with videos as well from individual games on the site. So we'll bring in Chris right now. Busy man. We'll bring him in. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, it's only busy during Imagine if it's busy during baseball season. What's going to happen when football comes around? No, I always tell you, I love what I'm doing at Pick Dogs. Wouldn't trade it for anything. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go. Major League Baseball. Just enough games to get through the whole show today, which is pretty good. I thought it was, sometimes these afternoon contests, we kind of split them down the middle here with morning and afternoon. Mets and Cubs going at it here, head to head. Of course, if you didn't know, yesterday they moved Senga back a day. Senga is on the mound here against Stroman. We see the Cubs here short favorites, minus 107 with a total of 7 runs.
Yeah, Tony, I like the Cubs when Senga was going to start on Tuesday. I like the Cubs here. The Mets, they snapped. They had their 5-game win streak snapped. Kota Senga, he's pitched well in spots this season, but he's really pitched well for the most part at home, and that's where the home road splits come into play here. Kodai Senga at home this season at Citi Field, a 1.57 ERA, a 161 opponent batting average. But on the road, a 6.30 ERA, a 288 opponent batting average. Marcus Stroman last year, for whatever reason, he struggled at Wrigley. But this year, the splits have kind of flipped towards him being better at home. A 2-3 record, but a sub-3 ERA, a 191 opponent batting average. And right now, with the way that you got some of the Cubs swinging the bat, especially Christopher Morel, really coming out of nowhere, 9 home runs in his first 12 games for the Cubs. I got to think that the Cubs got another one here. I'm just not a fan of Senga on the road. And I think, getting them at a coin flip price is where I want to be here. So give me the Chicago Cubs on the money line at home.
All right, Chris, here on the Cubs here, money line here against the Mets. How do you argue that here with the Cubs and Stroman on the hill, who's really got his strikeout numbers up this year, get those walks down. There's always been an issue with him going back in his early days in Major League Baseball. Of course, Senga coming over from Japan with that big contract. The Mets invested quite a bit on Senga.
Yeah, they did, and I think that they sort of received a little bit of an early payout with him at home. But again, you're not going to be able to pitch 25, 30 times a year at Citi Field. You got to be able to take your game out on the road and have it translate. And like you said, it hasn't for Senga through those first 4 or 5 road starts this season. Like I said, 6.30 ERA, 14 earned runs allowed, 23 hits, 12 walks through just 20 innings of work. Numbers like that got to improve, and I think they will sort of average out over time. But right now, like I said, to get the Cubs at a coin flip price to fade Senga on the road, too much for me to pass on here.
Yeah, 5 years, $75 million there to bring him into the rotations. Cubs here minus 110 here in this game to have a start time here. We didn't mention here the weather here. We're looking at about 18 miles per hour wind in this one.
Yeah, and I'm trying to just see where Senga, 5 of his 6 home runs that he's given up this season as well have come on the road. So if the wind's blowing out, I bonus play here. I still like Christopher Morel to hit a home run.
It's blowing in because we saw a total of this early in the afternoon about 6.5, and it's now moved up to 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still like the home run props in this game, but I still like the Cubs to be able to get to Senga here. Wind blowing in or out still doesn't affect it for me.
Cubs minus 110 against the Mets. This one to have a start time here of 7:40 Eastern Time. All right, Chris, let's take over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a handful of games here from Major League Baseball, as well as action here from the NHL, Game 4 tonight. Let's see if we close out one of these conference finals. It's been kind of depressing with all these 3-0 series and all 4 of these. Can you believe that? But we got the Heat to at least awesome to extend to a Game 5 tomorrow. But anyway, Chris, what do you have going over at the site?
I'll tell you, Tony, I got my $19 NHL Power Play. 5-0 so far in the conference finals. Got that for $19. Got my MLB Play of the Day. But best value, hop on something long term. We're starting to crush it in the playoffs, and we're picking up our stride in the MLB, doing great on the 7-day and 30-day leaderboards. So make sure you check it out at Pick Dogs Premium.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Get on board with Chris Ruffalo over at Pick Dog Premium. See the great results. Long-term pass is the way to go. You want to try them out for 7 days, go for that. Use that promo code PICK at checkout to save that 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having your show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But everybody know they can catch you here over on Pick Dogs with that morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course in your Puck Dogs video series with Rod Zawacki.
Yeah, running out of games to talk about. We're almost at the Stanley Cup Finals, but still, we're going to have plenty more to talk about. Baseball, NBA. I do my home run prop daily. You want to make sure you have notifications turned on because those come out in the morning, and we have early baseball like we do on Thursdays. Doesn't leave a whole lot of time between then and first pitch, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you have notifications turned on.
Yeah, set those notifications so when Chris and Rod drop those videos and when they're live on those live shows, you get the plays in real time. And Chris, any watch along if in the finals here?
Now we haven't talked about it yet, but potentially we could see how our schedules line up. But yeah, whatever Stanley Cup final we do have, I'm pretty sure it's going to be exciting. And yeah, we might have to schedule a watch along or two for that.
Yeah, maybe we get to the closeout games.
There you go.
There might be 4 closeout games.
I was going to say, if it keeps going the way it is, we may not have many closeout games. We'll have to see how it goes.
See how it rolls. All right, Chris, have a great week. Chris Ruffalo here on The Drive. So let's continue on here. It's Wednesdays. You know what it's time for. It's Mitch on Wednesday. We'll bring him in right now. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium Calls. Of course, catch him that morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also part of video series here. Many of them, including the 7 picks in 5 minutes that you definitely want to catch here on the channel. Another reason why you want to like, subscribe, and then set those notifications. So we'll get Mitch ready to roll here. Mitch, what's happening?
Just living the dream over here at Pick Dogs. Had some dental surgery today, so face is a little numb, but I figured I'll suck it up and be on the show. So,
yeah. All right, 1 shot or 2 shots?
It's what we do.
Was it 1 shot? If it's 1 shot, it's no problem. I think when you get to the 2nd or 3rd shot, then it can be a little issue.
It was many. It was many. I got another one on a whole nother visit on the way. So. Well, several. So
yeah, let me give some advice here to some of you young guys. Take care of your teeth, man. Take care. Of your teeth.
And don't get old.
No, that's another one. That's another one. Yeah, take care of those teeth, brother. Trust me.
Yeah,
all right.
Don't get old.
There we go, Mitch. Tonight, Red Sox and Angels. We see a close line here with the Red Sox favorite here. Total of 9, Paxton and Anderson.
Interesting game here, in a lot of different areas because you have Paxton, the lefty, going against another lefty here in Anderson. And with Paxton, it's a racehorse that you throw out the last 2 years as his last 2 races. He was injured, right? So I don't think those numbers count in those high ERAs. And he has some, traditionally a fairly decent ERA throughout his career. But he's a lefty facing an Angel lineup that pounds left-handed pitching, 278 average against lefties. So the Angels, where they've done, 27 wins and 23 losses, this is, they were manager firing bad at this point last year. So, certainly a marked improvement, and they are relevant this season. But Tyler Anderson has not been part of the solution. After last year's great year, as a member of the Dodgers, he's regressed to form here. He looks like the guy we saw in Colorado on the Rockies and in Pittsburgh. He has that Chad Kuhl resume of pitchers that pitched in Pittsburgh and Colorado. So it's a hell of a rotation. You could have a Tyler Anderson and Chad Kuhl, guys that really have been hammered just pretty much everywhere they pitched. But the thing is that, I think you look at this and the Red Sox lineup continues to swing the bat, just 4-6 in their last 10 games. But facing Anderson, I think they're going to put some runs on the board, and I think the Angels are going to hit Paxton a little bit better than he's been hit this season. I'm going to go with the over.
Over 9 here. Yeah, Mitch here with the over 9 here with the Red Sox and the Angels. Of course, Paxton, remember when he's in Major League Baseball, he was really known for those strikeouts, right? He had a really good strikeout rate. Showing a little bit of that this year, but I will say this here about this Red Sox team. You spoke about hitting left-handers. They're putting up almost 6 runs a game on lefties this year.
Yeah, they both are just crushing it, so I expect to see plenty of runs here.
Yeah, plenty of runs here with this one. Angels and Red Sox going over the total here for Mitch. All right, Mitch, like we like to do here on with all this day baseball, we like to kind of go over and really pick Mitch's brains here on some of the games that that concluded today. We saw this one here. Pirates made a rally late, couldn't get the important runs in. Rangers 3-2 with the win.
Pirates had plenty of chances in this game and just could not get it done. They had a chance early in the game when the inning that they scored the 2 runs. They had less than 2 outs and a runner on third base and could not get the extra run home. And that was the difference in the game. The Rangers scored all their runs in the first inning and never scored again.
What do you make of this Rangers team? You see them as a possible a World Series candidate here?
I think one thing we know about the Texas Rangers is throughout history, these guys have an open checkbook, and even with Seager and DeGrom on this roster, I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and alleviated some other people's payroll problems that they have, because that's what they've done. These are the guys that paid Alfonso Soriano $30 million a year. So it's like if you're willing to pay Fonzie $30 million a year, pretty much willing to pay anybody $30 million a year.
I guess the early talks here, if Detroit falls out of contention, Eduardo Rodriguez seems to be the one that would be the name available by All-Star by the trading deadline.
I think Rodriguez is a viable option. I don't think he's ever going to be the guy that many thought he was going to be when he was coming up with Baltimore. I think that he's kind of like another Baltimore pitcher, and Gausman. It's like always the world of potential, always has this great thing, has some outings where you kind of say, wow, this guy really is that good. And then, the next time out, he's giving up 7 runs. So I'm not all in on Rodriguez, but I could see the Tigers doing something like that.
Diamondbacks and the Phillies, boy, heartbreaker there. D-backs blew that early lead. The Phillies come back, push it over the total, and win here in extras in 10 innings, 6-5.
I think it's a theme of this early season so far. Strand those base runners, it will bite you in the ass later. And I think that we saw that from the Diamondbacks today.
White Sox and Guardians, boy, the White Sox pull off this one here. 6-0 here against the Guardians. Pitching matchup seemed to work in their favor for Guardians, but they couldn't get it done today.
This is the best thing about the entire baseball season so far, is if you look at these American League Central standings and you see that the White Sox, who are now 9 games under 500, are only 5 games back in the standings. It's like they're right there. And the thing is, like, in the loss column, there is where they're right there also. The White Sox are only 6 back in the loss column, and the Guardians, who are 21 and 27, are only 3 back in the loss column from the Twins. The American League Central is going to be a lot of fun this season. I think it's definitely going to be a one playoff team division, but it's going to be a lot of fun, because these teams are going to play in a lot of exciting games, and we saw Michael Kopech pitch really well today. I said it on the morning show. I think this kid still has a really high side. We have to remember he still is really young, and we've seen guys where it just takes him a few years. Look at Martin Perez. It took him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, it took them a while there. Giants and Twins here. The Twins take this one. The Giants are really hot entering this series with that good homestand. Took the first 2, lose this one. Twins 7-1.
Well, this is a salvage win, I'd call this, for the Twins. I thought Joe Ryan pitched really well. Once again, the Giants had the Twins on the ropes early, let them off the hook with runners in scoring position, runners on third base with less than 2 outs, got gunned out at the plate on an infield grounder. I don't even know what you're thinking there. It's like if you stay at third base, they throw it, defer. There's so many other things that could happen. Instead, your lead runner is dead at the plate. All your momentum is gone. But outside of that, I think the Giants have exceeded expectations this year. Just a game under 500 at this point. That's 6.5 back though in the West. But as far as the National League wildcard picture goes, they're in.
All right, there we go with the Giants and Twins, Astros and Brewers. Brewers take it here 4-0 in this one between Hauser and Bielak.
I think that when we see Bielak pitching for the Astros, it just says, well, this team is short on pitchers. This is the old attrition model that you see in the NFL mostly, but you see it in baseball too, where it's you win and guys are going to leave, and this is just what's happened. It's like you can't continue to lose Verlanders and Cole and and Springers and Correas and all these guys and continue to win if your guys that you still have on the roster aren't playing. So without McCullers Jr., without Altuve, the Astros are just a couple of players short, and I don't think dealing is something in their near future either. I do like the Abreu pickup, and the Astros are certainly relevant. When you look at the race, they're only 3 behind the Rangers after today's action. So, 28 and 21, I think a lot of teams would take that. But the problem is that in the American League, boy, you're going to have a really good record to have any kind of comfort of being, because that 571 winning percentage, puts them as the last team in the wild card.
Yeah, that's right. Remember they lose Luis Garcia's Tommy John surgery also there. So
yeah, but the Orioles and the Yankees both ahead of them in the standings, for the wild card in the American League.
Yeah, Ben. What have you made about this interleague? You play everybody this year. Have you seen it? What have you taken from it so far?
Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I think it takes away from the game. I like seeing that it's like the same teams playing each other over and over and over again. I think it just gets easy, and I think I think it makes it easier for us because the guys who aren't really as familiar with betting on sports, they kind of fall into this trap of, well, he gave up 5 runs against them last week. It's like, yeah, he also, has the ability to strike out 15 guys if he's on his game. So it's, I think I like it when the teams play each other a lot.
Well, like 16 or 17 times, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like the American League Central. I think it was great when they added the interleague play and you do one division a year. But this equal amount of games against all teams across, and it's like, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't do it for me.
It's tough on the Mariners and Marlins. They're having to fly the longest. I mean, the longest trips, almost twice as much as Milwaukee, believe it or not, in Minnesota. Someone calculated the amount of flights. But again, these teams stay in these cities for 2 to 3 days, so doesn't seem as bad. All right, Mitch, that's the 5 afternoon games. The rest of them here this evening. Mitch, let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We're into the end of May, and we're not too far away from August when we get into preseason football and then football getting back in the air here. We do have some OTAs going on this week.
Yeah, the summer is generally the slow time in sports and sports betting, but everybody knows when things get slow for everybody else, that's when we pick things up at Pick Dogs. We're working on a lot of new things that we have going on, and it's like you're going to see a massive expansion. We released our first iteration of the redesign at Sports Chat Place. It's not done yet, but at least it's there, and you guys can sort of see what the idea is. And over the next few weeks, it will start to fill in. You guys know I'm an innovator. I come up with the ideas, everybody else steals them. So I have a lot of ideas here. So if those guys want to stop the camera and read what I'm working on, I take a lot of notes. I write everything down when I have thoughts, and this is just not even the stuff that I have written down on the on my computer. These are totally independent ideas of that. So we have a lot of new things coming on, some new products, some new features, and we have some new partnerships. So all that's really, really exciting. And that doesn't even count some of the other stuff that we're working on, and we're going to be doing some joint ventures, hopefully with some of the other guys like Al McMorty, who's part of our Pick Dogs family anyway. But it's like we're talking about doing something beyond that, and I think it's going to be fun as well. So Tony, I think you'll be part of that as well.
Excellent. Look forward to it, Mitch. As always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining and for being part of our Pick Dogs family. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Exactly. Mitch here on the drive to. Let's continue on with our coverage. You guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's bring him in right now. Big Al McMorty. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Trim. Ready to go with Big Al. Big Al, what's happening?
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great. It'd be better if I get the graphics right. But anyway, we're going Major League Baseball here today. Actually, I do have it right on your single graphic. So let's go to the single graphic here. No, maybe I didn't. Maybe it's in the double graphic. I don't know. Anyway, we're not looking at this game. Big Al, we're looking here at Braves and Dodgers here. Braves favor in this game.
Yeah, one of the things I've liked to do over the last few years is just go against the Dodgers when they're installed as an underdog. They've actually not been installed as an underdog very many times over the last 3 seasons. This is just the 16th time. They're 5-10 the previous 15, minus 3.7 net games. So I'm going to go with Bryce Elder and the Atlanta Braves. It's a short price. They're laying $1.17. And one reason I like Atlanta, Tony, is you take a look at Atlanta's daytime, nighttime splits. They're much better at night than in the daytime. In the daytime, the Braves are a pedestrian 59-59, minus 18.5 net games. But at night, they're a super 171 and 102 plus 38.8 net games. The Braves are also 38-22 off back-to-back losses. They're 30-13 off a blowout loss by 4 or more runs, including 18-3 the last 21 at home. This sets up well off that 8-1 blowout loss last night. I'm going to take Atlanta minus $1.17.
All right, Big Al says go Atlanta here, minus 117 here against the Dodgers. Of course, that's a game going off here tonight, a little bit later here. Big Al, I'm going to ask you a question here. I know we're going to get off topic here from this baseball game, but what do you make out of it? There's a lot of talk about this Celtics team, about the odds on the Celtics to win. You know, when they were down 0-3, their odds to win the series. Now they're down 3-1, and I think they're like plus 220.
Yeah.
To me, it's. I mean, to me, you know, the folks that are calculating those numbers, it's always, to me, it's about where you drop the pin. When you look at something like this, do you look at pretty much the overall numbers from the playoffs, overall season? I know you look at the entire database. I mean, how can someone make odds like this?
Well, I think what you do is you take the point spread and you calculate what are the money line odds for a particular point spread. So they're laying 8 points tomorrow, right? So you can figure out the percentage chances they're going to win straight up. You can assume in a game 7 it's also going to be minus 8. You know what the odds are going to be for a game 6 as well, and you can just pull out your calculator and do the math. You know, I always say, I had the same conversation back when Milwaukee was up 3-1 on the Miami Heat, you know, and of course, you know, you get foiled when Miami wins that game 5 as a 13.5 point underdog. So sometimes things don't go according to Hoyle, but that, you know, put that to the side. You know, the game 7s typically go to home teams. So, you know, Miami, I mean, they better win game 5 or game 6 because game 7 is going to be a bitch if it gets there. You know, but anyway, I mean, the odds are right. I mean, the odds are what they should be, to be honest with you.
All right, there you go from Big Al McMorty. A lot of discussion there on this, on some of these series odds adjustments as each game went by. Big Al here on the record. Braves minus 117 against the Dodgers. This one will have a start time 7:20 Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, limited card tonight here. 10 games still on the board for Major League Baseball. Single from the NHL. Good results in the NBA. We got an NBA game tomorrow. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, well, you were talking with Mitch, you know, a few minutes ago. I just posted side and total winners for tomorrow's game 5 between Boston and Miami. I hit the side and total for game 4. I had the Celtics and the under, now 15-5 last 20 in the NBA. The total is out of an angle that's 10-0, 8 or 10-0. It's last 10. The side is out of an angle that's 7-0 ATS. So 2 decent situations for game 5 tomorrow. I've got one baseball play posted for tonight, and that's what I've got over at Pick Dogs.
All right, guys, get on board with Big Al McMorty over at Pick Dogs. You see the great results he's put up in the NBA. Big Al was the top unit producer 2021 and 2022 over at Pick Dogs Premium. So a good time getting on board. May consider a long-term pass with Big Al, the 3, 7, or 30-day All Sports Pass. Get all Big Al's premium plays for that time period. Just select when you go over to his Handicapper page and you make that purchase, remember that promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll be able to save. Actually save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. That's even greater value there, right? Big Al, is always great having you show. Continue that great run here, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday. Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Big Al McMorty here on the Drive Thru. Guys, if you miss any picks, we're going to recap these picks here at the end of the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. We got up next Wayne Scott. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Wayne in right now. He's got a pretty good matchup tonight for us here from Major League Baseball, so we'll get Wayne in right now as we'll be looking at this exciting Yankees and Orioles series. You knew it was going to be the way that when you got the Yankees, when the Yankees are looking up on somebody, you know it's going to bring up a lot of attention. What's up, Wayne?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family?
It's happening great, going great, Wayne. All right, here we go tonight. Yankees and the Orioles going head to head here with the Yankees favorite here at minus 137. Total sits at 8 runs.
Yes, sir. And as Mitch talked about earlier about them repeat matches, we have a repeat match here on April 9th. The total was set at 7 when Tyler Wells and Nestor Cortez are going against each other. New York stole one, 5-3 win in that one. Like I said, the total was 7, went slightly over. In this one, I like the underdog. Came up open at 8.5, and now I think the last time I looked at it, it's at 8 maybe in some books. So I think a lot of people are agreeing with me. And we got 2 good pitchers. Great pitching matchup. Tyler Wells, right-hander, 3-1, 2.9 ERA. 0.7 whip. When he's away, his ERA goes up to 3.3, and his whip is 0, but his whip is still 0.75. When he played them, he gave up 4 runs. I do not think he gives up 4 runs in this one. Nestor Cortez, he's 4-2 on the season. He's had his ups and downs. When he's on this stuff, we like to call him Nasty Nestor. He has a 5.2 ERA, which is not good. But guys, when he is at home and when he has night, when he's pitching at night, that drops. He's at night. He's ERA is 2 and his WHIP is 0.6. So with that being said, I love the under in this one. We have 4 hitters on this Baltimore squad that struggles to hit Nestor Cortez. They're all batting under 150. I think that plays a part. We also have a great defense in B-More. They top and double play. I just don't see a lot of runs here. Both of these teams are top defenses, and when it comes to earned runs, New York 5th giving up 4 a game, and Baltimore 10th giving up 4 a game. All this is setting for the under for me. Another thing, New York, to me, on the season, it just bats aren't the greatest. They get a lot of base runs off of home runs, and I think Tyler Wells makes them struggle in this one, and I think we can stay under the 8.5.
All right, we've got under the total here, under 8.5 runs here with that Yankees and Orioles matchup here with from Wayne. You know, yesterday there was a pretty pitching match. It wasn't too bad last night, and we saw these teams putting up some runs here, hitting some pretty good pitching. Of course, the Orioles have had really good success scoring on the road, and the Yankees scoring it as well at home.
Yeah, I agree with you. You would think that with Cole on the mound yesterday that would have been an under, but it didn't. But I actually think this pitching matchup is a little bit better than that one yesterday. I'm not the biggest fan of Bradish, but it just goes little stuff like 4 or 5 batters not hitting Nestor Cortez well, stuff. Hitting under way under below 200 on him when he has a 5-point ERA. That 5-point ERA makes you want to jump straight to the over, but not so fast, my friend. Another thing I like to bring up is New York. Solid bullpen, man. We don't give New York a lot of credit for their bullpen. Be-More bullpen, not as good, but they're not terrible either. They're averaging 3.0, and I think we get a better Baltimore bullpen tonight. Great starting pitching matchup tonight. Runs are going to be hard to come by. 1st to 3 wins. Give me the under on this one.
All right, Wayne here. Yankees, Orioles under 8.5 runs. This one will have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, Wayne showing great results here over the past 7 days. Great numbers here from Wayne. You see it, 256 units of profit last 7 days. All right, Wayne, we got action tonight here on the board here from Major League Baseball. Still 10 games on the board. We also have that single here from the NHL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yes, sir. I got a 3-pack for y'all, 2 MLBs, 1 NHL, and I put my NHL because I love that play the most individual for y'all. So if y'all want to hop on that, or if y'all need more action and like the need 3 plays, I got 2 in the MLB and I included that NHL. So hop on that package, or you can hop on something long term. I do got one more baseball bet, which is an underdog for my long term subscribers. So hop on that long term and pair me up with one of these top cappers and let's cash this week.
That's right, guys. Got a board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge Premium. You see the numbers, 256 units of profit last 7 days. That's all documented. So get on board with Wayne's place for tonight or the long-term passes. Remember that $30 sports pass. It's every premium play from Wayne for that period of time you select. When you go to his handicapper page and make that purchase, remember that promo code PICK at checkout, and you will save 15% off there off his premium packages over there at Pick Dodge Premium. Showing profit last 30 days, last 7 days, coming off a winning day yesterday. That Make It Rain 3-pack is up there for you right now if you'd like to get the individual plays as well. So get on board. That $19 pick is on the ice. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care. And big fight announcement too, man.
All right.
Spence and Crawford fight got announced, and very excited for that. It's coming right around the corner in July, so that means they've been cooking it up for a minute. So I'll be looking forward to give y'all who I like in that one pretty soon. So
all right. Is Canelo going to retire? Like that's just some of the talk.
I don't think so.
Nope,
I mean, he's looking like he's having fun, but he looks like he's having fun outside of boxing a little more than he has in the past. He's looking like he's lost a little discipline, but I don't know. Ain't nobody just beating him down to the way to make him retire. I think he has a lot of fight left in him, a couple of years. Yeah, a couple of years. You know, he's waiting for the right offer. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up tomorrow. Yes, sir. Take care, Tony T. All right, Pete Dog fam. Got Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Delivery Dude says he's waiting for that boxing pick. These guys love the sweet science out there. Can't doubt that at all. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Alan Enos is up next. We're going to the Skype world. Bring him in. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Alan Enos in right now. Having a pretty good baseball season. We're going to cover baseball with Alan Enos here. Let me go ahead and bring him in right now. We're going to get pretty much all the games here in the primetime hour. Most of them, I should say. Because we have a full boat on this show. Bring him in right now. Alan Enos. Al, what's happening?
Yeah, you mentioned full boat, and I was left with this pick, so we're going to be looking at a gem tonight. But,
well, you got. I got this. I got the email out early, so you had no excuses.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you know what? I sent you my pick early yesterday, and what happened? We got lineup changes, and I figured, I might want to wait a little bit today. And make sure the lineups are confirmed. Well, actually, get as much information as I can in. And sure enough, I was left with this one. So, pros and cons to everything, I guess. But,
yeah, well, I had a Tigers as a premium a few days ago, so I don't feel too bad about this. So anyway, go ahead, give us the game here. Tigers and Royals tonight. We know Greinke's on the mound. That's why the Royals are favored here, -114 total 8.5.
Yeah, definitely not prime Greinke here, but I think he's still the better option here over Matthew Boyd that's getting the start for the Tigers. Now, I would definitely take this Detroit lineup over Kansas City's, but again, just the pitching matchup at home, I think we're laying a pretty fair number for it. You could try to focus in on the first 5 innings if you want. Probably split my bet a little bit, put a little bit on the Royals first 5, a little bit on them full game. Again, not my favorite play, not my favorite free play in a long time, but again, going with the Royals here, just think it's the play. Just 1-5 on the season, Zach Greinke, but I think he earns himself a win here in the matchup again. And if you look at these numbers, Greinke has been hit pretty well by this Tigers lineup, and Boyd has had pretty good numbers against the Royals lineup. But again, just think those numbers kind of even out a little bit for us tonight, and going with the Royals one more time.
All right, Al says go Royals here, -116 in this one against the Tigers. Greinke has been better at home. That's what you'll say about Greinke. He does have 10 starts. The whip has been pretty good. He limits his base runners. 1.2 isn't bad. The walks are just 3%. So there's some things to like here about Greinke. He still gets the ground ball at 43%. Some trend numbers from Greinke: 10-3 at home facing teams hitting .265 or worse. And of course, with the Tigers, they don't produce many runs on the road.
Yeah, you mentioned the ground balls. That's probably his biggest edge, I think. And no more shifts allowed, but I think it's still rather you be pitching ground balls than giving these hitters some things to send the balls over the fence. So I'll take that edge too. We're with Greinke here, and you said not the best lineup, but I still think Tigers. I'd still rather take that Tigers lineup over the Royals. But again, I just think when you add it all up, I think the Royals are the side to back tonight.
All right, Alino's here. Royals -116 here against the Tigers. This one will have a start time here of 7:40 Eastern time. All right, Alino's, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. As we said, Al's having a really good baseball season. 691 units of profit. Still 10 games on the board here for Major League Baseball with that single from the NHL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I had a 3-pack. We had the Rangers earlier. That went well. 2 picks left. If you can get them individually or grab a long-term pass, get them both. And my upcoming picks. So make sure you grab one of those or 2 for 1 capper special.
That's right, guys. You got El Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results in Major League Baseball. You see the units here, nearly 700 units of profit. An MLB Grand Slam, $19 premium play up there for you right now. Again, as from El Ninos, and be sure to get that long-term pass. That's your best value there. You see El Ninos with that really good results. You can get that 30-day all sports pass. Get all El Ninos premium plays for 30 days. All this baseball, remainder of the NBA, NHL playoffs, and pick as a promo code to save that 15% off. All right, Al. As always, great having you on the show. Continue the success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
You got El Ninos here on the drive-thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Rod Zawacki up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Stream. He's been very good to us here on the show. We'll bring him in right now. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Enjoying the Wednesday afternoon. A rainy Wednesday afternoon, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Need a little rain. Get rid of that dust.
Oh, well, we know what's going on out there in Canada. You definitely need the rain, right?
Yep, definitely. We are not complaining about the rain that's come through. Help
put out some of those
get
fires.
things moist and help with some of the fires that are going on up here.
Wow, we know what that feels like out here, man. Oof, man, it's not fun at all. Here we go tonight with this Padres and Nationals game going head-to-head here at top of the hour. We're seeing here the Padres favorite here, minus 138 here against this Nationals team. We got Weathers, the lefty, on the mound here for San Diego, going against Trevor Williams, the right-hander for Washington.
Yeah, and you said Weather's getting the start here for the Padres, and it'll be his 5th start of the season. He's made some other appearances in relief spots. He's 1 and 2 on the season in those starts with a 3.42 ERA. He's 2 and 2 in those starts. Are the Padres when he starts. And you look on the other side, Williams getting a start. He's had 9 starts this season. He's only got 1 win in those 9 starts, but the Nationals are 5 and 4 in his 9 starts this season. He's 1 win, 1 and 2 with a 4.26 ERA. But I don't see either of these starters equating to who gets the win in this game. I think both starters are going to give up some runs here early and often. I kind of like the over as well in this one. But I'm going to go with the Nationals. As you look at the Nationals over their last 5 games, and they've definitely been hitting left-handed pitching. They're batting .310 versus lefties over the last 5 games. And I think they can get to Ryan Weathers here in this first one and jump out to a big lead. Are these Nationals. And I think after they turn the ball over to the bullpen, I think they can hold things down. I know the Padres late definitely has the edge in the bullpen over the last 10 games. That Padres bullpen's been lights out. So the Nationals got to get the lead early and hold on to it late, which is what I think they can do. The Padres 2 and 6 in their last 8 versus right-handed starter. And in game 2s of a series, Padres 0 and 6 in their last 6. So let's go with the Nationals here on the nice plus money to snag us a win here on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I like that one too because, as you said, the Nationals have been hitting left-handers well this season, no doubt about that. And coming in with those plus money. And one thing with Weathers you always have to worry about, especially facing a team that can hit lefties, his strikeout rate is only 15%. He's walking about 10% of the folks. And also Williams, believe it or not, when he faces an NL team that's light hitting, like the Padres, hitting less than 250, the team record behind him is 9-0. So there's some positive trends there on the side of the Nationals here.
Well, yeah, exactly. The Nationals, as you said, 9-0, 4-0 in the last 4, where the opponent scored 5 runs or more, so the Padres used up their runs. As you said, they're light hitting, don't score a whole lot. They scored a whole bunch yesterday in the first game of the series, and I think it'll be tough for them to get a whole pile of runs in this one. As I think Williams has a good start. As we've seen, he's definitely been.
He's got that whip low. I mean, that whip is okay.
These Nationals, I think, get a good start here.
Yeah, the whip's good, and the walks are definitely acceptable, about 5%. So you got to like that. But again, the thing here is Weathers pitching to contact against a team like the Nationals that can pound lefties. Nationals here plus 131 here against the Padres. This one will have a start time here of 7 o'clock Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we've got baseball on the board. 10 games on the board from baseball. That single from on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
we're picked us for tonight. Light. One during the day, so just light tonight. I got my 10-star MLB Titanium total available, or I've got my playing tonight's NHL action. Grab a 3-day pass and jump aboard. I love the next 3 days of action. We got some great games coming ahead, including that NBA Game 5 coming back up in Boston. So head aboard, grab that 3-day pass, use the promo code PICK, and jump aboard with me for the next 3 days. And let's pound your bookies and make you some money.
On the bookies, indeed. Get on board with Rod Zabaki over at Pick Dogs Premium. Here we go. It's time to pound that book with the Rod's individual plays of 1-day passes, or the long-term passes you see there is a way to roll 3, 7, or 30-day pass. Remember that promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. And that second capper with the 2-for-1 capper promotion, even greater value there. All right, Rod, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again on Stake 5. Let everybody know what you got going on with that Puck Dogs video series, and we can catch you every day in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, definitely tune in 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Me, Mitch, and Chris. Definitely see the morning show. Have a good time. Sometimes we go off the rails, but definitely enjoy it. Getting you guys some free winners, getting some plays, and talking about the day's action in sports. Sometimes we go and talk about food and carny rides, but definitely a good time. So tune into that and definitely subscribe, the way you get notified when those Puck Dog videos get released, and you can join me and Chris and get the best of the number with us with those plays there. So definitely appreciate everybody.
That is right, indeed. Get on board there with Rod and check out the shows and like and subscribe. All right, Rod, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you in the morning on Thursday. We'll catch you back here on the drive-thru on Stake Friday.
Definitely have yourself a good night, Tony. Good luck with your bets, and I'll catch you back on Stake Friday.
You got it. Rod Zawacki here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on, guys. If you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's welcome back Sean Murphy to the drive-thru. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Trim. Got a pick from the big hockey game tonight, so we'll bring Sean in right now. Having a fantastic year over at Pick Dogs. Sitting near the top of the leaderboards here for the year 2023. We're bringing him in right now. Sean, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having me back on. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but I'm looking at your numbers all year. It's been fantastic and showing great results here. But, boy, this series did something, man. These odds have been razor thin. We know the totals have been kind of low because of the way the defense has been going on here in these games. It's been a really tight series. Don't let the 3-0 fool you. They've been competitive. Panthers and Hurricanes, we got the sharp line here, minus 105 on both sides, total 5.5.
Yeah, so I think, myself included, I think at the start of the series we expected it to be probably a little more high scoring, and I think a lot of bettors are getting caught right now just chasing that over, with the Panthers coming in on the long under streak going back to the last round. But I'm going to go back with the under again here tonight. I fully expected us to see some fives on the board, but it looks like we're still working with those 5.5s, juiced out a little to the under. That's fine. I don't even mind the alternate total play at 5 at a plus money return here, if you can get that at your book as well. It's been interesting to watch this matchup. I think it's a lot different than the other series where we have two teams here that have really managed their goaltenders well. The workloads all season. Some of that's been due to injuries. Some of it's been due to just goaltenders not playing particularly well at times. But, you look at right now, Frederik Andersen for the Hurricanes, even game 2, Carolina rested him after that long 4 overtime game in game 1. He came back in game 3, allowed 1 goal on 17 shots, so couldn't have asked much more of him. Of course, Bobrovsky's been unbelievable, but both of these guys, Andersen's in the 40s in terms of games played this year. Bobrovsky just made his 60th start of the season. So, compare that over on the other side with a team like Dallas with Jake Ottinger has been kind of getting lit up in this series. And you look at him, he's approaching 80 games on the season. So I think at this time of the year, I think that workload really matters. And I think we've got both teams with goaltenders with their A game right now. And you look at the Panthers, they've kind of shifted their game entirely here in the last couple of rounds. They haven't really been able to play that run and gun style, but I think that's been just fine because their defense has really stepped up. This is a defense that everyone kind of looked at as their weakness going into the playoffs, but that's not the case anymore. And then you've got Carolina. Maybe that lack of depth up front, the scoring depth, is finally showing through here this round. A couple trends here in this game as well. You look at the Hurricanes when they're looking to revenge a 1-goal loss against an opponent this season. Under's gone 11-4. Usually we'd look to go the other way after such a low-scoring game in Game 3, but With the Hurricane, in the case of the Hurricanes here, the under is 19-6. The last 25 times they've come off a road game that totaled 1 goal or less. That's the case here, obviously off that 1-goal game, off that 1-0 game in Game 3. And finally, we'll note that the under is 53-29, with the Panthers coming off at least 4 straight wins. And of course, that's the case here. As going back to last round here, they're on a 4-game winning streak. So it all adds up. I think to get the over here, you're banking on one of the teams getting more than 3 goals, and I just don't know if that's going to happen here. I'd actually like to see this. If we see this under come through, and hopefully maybe see Carolina steal a game here, I'd actually look in the next game probably to consider taking the over. We'd probably see some 5s on the board, and I think you need that kind of catalyst to kind of shake things up in a series like this, and that would be the Hurricanes maybe stealing a game. So we'll see how tonight plays out, but for tonight, I think we see another low-scoring one.
Another low-scoring indeed here in this one. Hurricanes and Panthers under 5.5. I will say this is the sharpest book in the world, -118. You're seeing some -130s in some of these books right now on that under juice right now. So it's I haven't seen the 5 pop up yet, Sean. I don't know if we're going to see the 5 pop up, but I know there might be some folks here thinking, hey, you know what? If you think the Panthers close out, then if a 1 or 2 goal lead, then you have to start thinking about, okay, when will the goalie get pulled?
Yeah, that's always kind of a tricky thing. I mean, regardless whether it's a closeout game or not, it seems like in the NHL playoffs it's a little different now. Teams could be down 3 goals and pull the goalie with 4 minutes left or whatever. If I'm looking at the side in this game, I'm actually leaning to Carolina in this one as well. I just don't think they just go away quietly here. We just saw Florida last round, similar situation against the Leafs in Game 4. They couldn't close that one out at home. You could argue that the Panthers are just, they're playing better right now, but the last game, Carolina outshot them. What was it, 32-17, I believe? I mean, it's like Rod Brindamore said, if they can just get one past Bobrovsky here, maybe they can, maybe they'll come in bunches. But like I said, I think our best bet here would be to see a low-scoring Hurricanes win, and then we'd probably come back with the over next game. But that's how I see this one playing out.
Florida, 8 of their past 9 playoff games have been decided by, they have been decided by 1 goal, right? That's something.
And that's what we'd be hoping for with the under here, like you said. Yeah. If we get some sort of lopsided game, although last night we saw with Vegas, that was a little too lopsided, 4-0, and then the Stars kind of just rolled over in the third. Actually, they took it to them in the third, but couldn't score. So, that's an interesting series as well. Another story.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Sean, here, Hurricanes, Panthers, under 5.5. Jump on it fast because we're seeing some juice high, and you don't want to get stuck with that 5 if it comes up. But you should be okay now because I still see the -5.5s everywhere. This one will have a start time here of 8 Eastern time. The game tonight will be over on TNT. All right, Sean, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs. As we were saying, Sean has put up some impressive numbers here. 1,611 units of profit, top of the board, top of the unit leaders here at Pick Dogs for 2023. We're getting some games going off here, so we've got about 7 games here remaining on the card for Major League Baseball, as well as that single from NHL. Head into a big card tomorrow as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so I had three baseball plays up for tonight. Actually, while we've been on here tonight, I had to take one play down because we got a pitching change in the Mariners A's game. So that one I took off the board for tonight. Still have 2 plays on the go. 1 10-star play. That one goes off very soon, about 10 or 15 minutes. So if you want to get on board for that one, it's been a good start to the year. Good start to the baseball season. NBA's been rolling, other than the couple games here in this strange round.
all dogs.
We got back on track last night with had the under last night, so I had to sweat that one out, but we got that one by a point. So hopefully we'll build off that one with maybe one more game tomorrow night with the Celtics and Heat. So looking forward to that.
That's right, guys. Got to vote with Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs Stream. You see the great results here from Sean. 1,611 units of profit. That is documented over at Pick Dogs Stream, showing great profit this year in Major League Baseball. A fantastic year. Of course, you may consider longer-term pass. I mean, Sean had a fantastic year last year in NFL college football. So if you're in the market for if it's in your budget, keep an eye on that 1-year All Sports Pass because that covers everything Sean releases, all his NBA, MLB also covers the postseason as well. When you get that 1 year all sports pass, and remember that promo code PICK at checkout, that will save you 15% off, which is a substantial discount over at Pick Dodge Premium for Sean's long-term pass with that 1 year all sports pass. Significant discount here. We're looking here about $225 off that price when you use the PICK promo code. So really good deal right now. The way Sean's rolling, the way he rolled it in football last season, you want to definitely get on board with that 1 year all sports pass. Cover all the baseball, then we get into the football. Also, preseason football. If Sean releases preseason football, will be covered. Also, I don't know if Sean gets into Canadian. Yeah.
I get into Canadian for sure. CFL coming right up. We're only about a week away from the start of that season, so looking forward to that. Preseason NFL, I usually get heavily involved, but for whatever last year I did not. Just had a couple of plays last year, but already working on some early football stuff, doing the homework. So I'll get those season packages up in the next couple of weeks as well if you want to take advantage of some early bird prices on those, the college football and NFL. So look forward to that in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, definitely, guys. I'm looking for those long-term passes there from Sean. You may want to consider that because he had a fantastic NFL and college football season. He's into Canadian football as well. That's going to start about a week away now here. So good time to get on board. And PICK is a promo code you'll save at checkout. All right, Sean, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that success. Hopefully we can catch up with you again soon.
For sure, Tony. Thanks again.
You got it. Sean Murphy here on the Drive Thru. Guys, you miss a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here. My pick's coming up later, so we're going to go right to Dana Lane, catch him over at Pick Dodge Room. His game starts a little later as well, so we're okay on time. Bring him in right now. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Tony? A lot going on here in Vegas.
I bet. Yeah, lots going on in Vegas, right? So you're going to get a Stanley Cup Finals over there, looks like. And, of course, the news with the Oakland A's, it seems like the news changes every day.
Everything looks like it's moving forward with the Oakland A's coming to Vegas. And, then, of course, John Fisher wants to push that as far as he can and get as much money from the state as he can. It does look like with their tentative agreement that it won't get as far as affecting property taxes, which I'm sure would make everybody very happy here. But it's, when it's all said and done and this thing is, 5 years into the future, we're going to be happy that the Oakland A's are here. And we're going to be happy, the NBA's on the clock. And this is a town that should house us all four of the major sports. And I believe that they will at some point. Yeah. I'm glad they're getting this done. And I understand the tax money issue. And, nobody's going to vote. You can ask Arizona. Nobody's going to vote on a yes for taxes for sports teams. I don't care what market you're in. So putting it to a vote, it's never going to pass. But this is something that's good for the city, and I hope it does. I hope it does happen. Now, I will say this, and I know we want to get to my game, but I will say this: there are some people in the Nevada legislature that have some parameters that they're setting for John Fisher, and I hope that one of those parameters is you must spend at least league average every single year. This town will not tolerate Moneyball. You must keep up with the amount of money that Bill Foley and the Raiders are spending from year to year to try to win. Regardless if you do, you need to give off the impression that you're trying to win.
I think there's enough influencers in Vegas to make sure that happens. I mean, there's enough sponsorship dollars. When the sponsorship dollars come in and the handshakes are made, you better believe that does get the owner's attention, right?
I hope so. Because this is it's not gonna go over well if he's coming here. Even if obviously they can't spend what they're spending in Oakland right now. I mean, it's a garage sale right now. But even if they say are in the 70, 80 million range, you must be competitive. This is a town that demands that you're going to be competitive.
Let me tell you something about Las Vegas. It is definitely will be a destination for free agents, no doubt.
No doubt about it. And I'm also glad that it's going to be a retractable roof. It is going to be interesting, the dynamics. I got on it with social media this week with one of the representatives that represents another area of the Strip. And, he, of course, doesn't want it because it's not being built in his area. But the point is, what's interesting is which way is the park going to face? Because obviously that's a Bally's owned property. And there is no way that you can situate that park where you're not looking at an MGM property, and that is a big deal here. So we'll see exactly how it goes. Plus, you also got the firework issue because you can't have that near the airport. So
All right.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I want baseball here for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Baseball indeed. All right, here we go with baseball tonight here. Rockies here hosting the Marlins. You know that the pitching, Alcantara on the mound here against Kaufman, the youngster here for the Rockies.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about Alcantara. I mean, I've had a lot of debates with people that are in the know, and he has definitely got the stuff. There's no doubt about it. And if he was on another team, Tony, I mean, he would be, probably in that 15 to 20 win range every year. But he's just a guy that I can't trust, and a guy that I usually keep off my main card, but certainly worth a shot on this on a free pick card. But in his career, he's 35-48. He's had one winning season, which was last year when he won the Cy Young. And yes, I know he had that one season, season when he was one game over 500, throwing that out. He's never been dominant to me. He's got terrific stuff, but he's so up and down, and he's so unreliable, especially from a betting standpoint, that I tend to shy away from him. This season, the Marlins are just 2-7 when he gets the ball. That's not good enough for me. In fact, when he goes on the road, opponents are hitting 298 against him. So this is not something. This is not a guy, and his money line is always inflated, but never a guy I really want to have my money behind, because I think he's a bankroll eater, especially playing on a Marlins team that just does not score any runs for him. And then this year, with his ERA being ballooned in the manner that it is, there's no way the Marlins are going to outscore. Miami needs to be in that 4, 5, 6 range to get him the win, especially this year. And now you're throwing Coors Field into the mix. I just don't have a good feeling about putting my money behind him. And on the road this year, hitters are hitting 298 against Alcantara. So I will go against Miami tonight. And as far as Kaufman's concerned, it kind of lucked out a little bit for me, because I did get a chance to see him up close and personal. He's basically to the right behind home plate, watching him against the Las Vegas Aviators a few weeks ago. And I will tell you this is how you'll know if he's having success. If he keeps his fastball down, which was actually, talked about, Bud Black talked about this too, but I noticed it right away. Gets his fastball up in the zone, it gets tagged. Don't read too much into the numbers, what he has done with Albuquerque. You and I know that the PCL is you can't equate what you do in the PCL, especially in Albuquerque, to what you would do in the major league. So impressive in his first start against Texas. Thought he pitched real well through 3 innings. Got roughed up in that 4th inning a little bit, but keep in mind the Rangers are the best offense in baseball. It was a tough assignment for his first start, and I thought he pitched pretty well. So I'm going to take a chance with Colorado tonight, and the big plus money will probably get bigger just due to the fact that everybody loves to put their money behind Alcantara.
Yeah, they're not calling him Sandy too much anymore, Alcantara. But, you're right here about not being overpowered. Because when you look at his strikeout rate, this year 22%, last year 23, 24, 21%, 18% in 2019 when he had 32 starts. And, of course, now with no more shifting here. So he's always pitched to a lot of contact in his career, not those elite strikeout numbers like 30% that you see some of the top flair pitchers.
Yeah, listen, I was, Ryan Braun was on my radio show last year, and we talked about right around the All-Star break about who should be on, who should start the All-Star game. And, I was kind of a big proponent for Gonsolin, because at the time he was 10-0, 11-0, and realized he didn't go deep into games. But with it being a Dodger Stadium, I thought, hey, that is, that's who should start. But I was in the minority with that thinking. But I just always thought, in the way that he talked about him and the way other people I've talked to have talked about Alcantara, I mean, you would have thought, I was actually shocked by his career numbers when I looked him up yesterday. And you would think that this guy would be so dominant, and I just don't feel that. I mean, you're in this gaming industry for a long time, Tony, and you get that after you've been in it for a while, you get that gut feeling about guys, and it really sometimes it goes against what the public thinks. And this is definitely one of those one of those times. And pitching at Coors Field, it's just one of those things where if I put my money behind him, I wouldn't feel good going into the game. But again, take it light because he is a fantastic talent and he's not good enough to be on my main card. But pretty confident to throw Colorado out there at a nice plus money tonight.
All right, Rockies plus 145 here against the Marlins. This one will have a start time here of 8:40 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. Of course, we do have baseball beginning here tonight. We got 6 games still on the card. That Yankee-Oriole game is in a rain delay, so that puts us there at 7 games still on the board. That one on the ice. Great results here in Major League Baseball. Nearly 1,800 units of profit. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, just one game tonight remaining. Angels and Boston on the card. Get involved in that. Got one winner in today. Got by the skin of my teeth, I got the Buccos on the run line. So one winner in today and one game in Toronto and Tampa. I'm sure that will be going way under the total after last night. That's just the way the things work. But, Angels and Red Sox, last game remaining on the card. I appreciate everybody who's signed up for that 3-day and week and a month pass. Like I said before the season, I've never been more confident going into a Major League Baseball season, and at least through a couple months or almost a couple months, that's proven to be a correct feeling.
That's right, guys. Got to work with Dana Lane over at Pick Dodge. Great results in Major League Baseball this year. Great results over the last 30 days. Over 1,000 units of profit. So get on board here with Dana Lane over at Pick Dodge. Single play up on the board here with that Red Sox Angels game up on the board right now. And of course, as we're talking about, get that long-term pass the way Dana's running right now. He's been on fire. He does have a Major League Baseball prorated season pass. So we're almost 2 months in the season. He's reduced the price. So get on board with that prorated MLB season pass. Remember, the promo code PICK at checkout takes 15% off. That's $90 off that price right now when you get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick Dog with that Major League Baseball pass. Got a lot of baseball going. We go till the end of October here, guys. So we got lots of baseball left here on this season. We're just barely through the first 2 months of the season. So get on board, use that promo code, and save money with that MLB season pass, including postseason there from Dana Lane. All right, Dana, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony, all the best to you and everybody out there, and go Knights go.
Go Knights go indeed. Dana Lane here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, if you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Tell you what, let's go ahead and let's get to the recap now. We do have some games beginning here at the top of the hour, so we'll do the recap. You'll get to my pick's the last game on the board, so we don't have to worry about mine right now. So let's go ahead and let's get to the recap here. We'll go ahead and put the recap numbers up here for you. We started off here with Chris. Chris liked the Cubs minus 110 against the Mets. Mitch was on the Red Sox Angels over 9. Al McMorty Braves minus 117 against the Dodgers. Wayne was on the Yankees Orioles under 8.5. That game is in rain delay right now. El Nino's pick Royals minus 116 against the Tigers. Rod Nationals plus 131 against the Padres. Dana was on the Rockies plus 145 against the Marlins. Sean Hurricanes Panthers under 5.5. I'm going to be on the Athletics Mariners over 8.5 in this one. The one I like the most, I like Sean's pick here, Hurricanes Panthers under 5.5 goals. This has been a really defensive series there, so I'm going to go that route. And let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We got the recap in. Let's get to my game. And let me get my data up here for you right now, as we're going to go to the last game on the board tonight for Major League Baseball, and that is going to be this Athletics game between the Mariners. We do have an opener now. Instead, Waldachuk was scheduled to be the starter in this game, but we're going to go opener for Oakland, and then Waldachuk will come in anyway. So let's get that data up here. But it's not going to change my pick in at all in this game. So let's go ahead and pull up my game odds right now. Mariners and Athletics here. We see the big line. We see the total sitting at only 8 runs. Wow, that's all it is? I'm going to go over in this game, over 8.5. I guess it came down because Oakland is going with an opener today. But even so, the primary pitcher is going to be Waldachuk in this game. And I can tell you right now, Waldachuk is not to perform very well. I can understand why they want to go with Waldachuk or make him the primary pitcher. We know Bryce Miller's put up some pretty good numbers this year, no doubt about that. Gets the strikeouts, limits the walks. But, boy, you look at this Oakland team, Waldachuk an ERA on the road of 8.39, averages 5 innings per game. But it's the Athletics bullpen behind him. An ERA near 7 on the road, which is just, really tough. I mean, again, the bullpen an ERA of 7, Waldachuk an ERA of 8.39. I'm sorry, the Athletics bullpen near 7 is on the road, and Waldachuk's ERA on the road is 8.39. So you could just see here how just poor this Oakland pitching is. We get a couple runs, we probably will need here from Oakland to get this one over the total here in this one. Let's see here, starting for it's going to be Austin Pruitt who will be the opener. Walchuk is still expected to pitch tonight. There's some sort of a calf soreness that he's dealing with, but Austin Pruitt is your opener in tonight's game. Let's take a look here at Pruitt as the opener. Just have 9 appearances, 10 innings, allowed 11 hits in 10 innings of work, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, but 5 walks. So you got to whip a 1.50. So he does put up base runners, but he'll serve as the opener tonight, averaging just about 1 1/3 innings per appearance for Austin Pruitt. So he gets to start tonight. Pruitt, a career ERA of 4.65 with 197 strikeouts in 288 innings. So he's one of those high contact pitchers. So again, that's what Oakland's going to go with here. Once in the Tampa Bay organization, which didn't last there, played in Miami and Houston. Had some minor. Let's see what he had a lot of work in the minor leagues. Actually, was in the minor leagues in Las Vegas here. 10 appearances in relief. Had some pretty good success there in relief there. But again, just 15 innings in the minors, and pitched with Oakland last year and out of the bullpen with an ERA over 4. So that's going to be your starter, your opener here, who averages just 1 1/3 innings per appearance this year. So Walchuk is still going to get the bulk of the work here tonight in this one. Don't forget that Oakland bullpen has just been miserable. Really miserable this year as we read out those numbers for you here. ERA near 7 on the road. Walchuk's ERA 8.4 here on the road. So we'll go here over total of now 8. Let me check the rest of the books out there to see. It was just the sharpest book in the world at 8.5. Actually, the sharpest book is moving this one here a little bit. Let's see where we're at. We should have this one at 8.5. Although I'm seeing some 8.5 in some places, but looks like it may settle here about 8.5 anyway. So there's maybe some buyback to the over in this one. Yep, we just saw it move to 8.5. So yes, this is as I spoke, we saw that line move to over 8.5, and no doubt about that. Walchuk is going to pitch tonight. That's probably why that line went back to 8.5. People thought, well, he's not going to pitch. No, he's going to pitch. He got some calf soreness, but he's going to go anyway. And there you go with the pick. So there you go. All right, we got you. We got the recap. Let's go ahead and go over the scores that are in progress for you guys right now. Over at Pick Dogs Premium, I do have a best bet on the board right now, so get on board with my premium play right now over at Pick Dogs Premium. I've got that game for you. All right, we got the recap for you. We gave you that earlier before my pick. Let's go ahead and get the scores for you right now and give you some information here. Right now, we got the Astros Brewers with that 4-0 win. Reds up now 4-0 here on the Cardinals, top of the second. And we have Blue Jays, Rays, a 3-0 lead now on the Blue Jays here, bottom of the second. Top of the first, nope, this one's still in rain delay. I'm showing here, rain delay here. Wait, maybe not. Yeah, rain delay there. Orioles and the Yankees are in rain delay. And Padres and Nationals no score, top of the first. Dodgers and Braves begin in just about 10 minutes. Mets and Cubs will start a little later. Tigers and Royals will be in a rain delay. So that game will be delayed by rain. So get you guys caught up with everything over right now in Major League Baseball. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today here on the Drive-Thru. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 3 p.m. at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. And look up their plays for you here in real time for the games on Thursday. Don't forget, it always gets started every day with that morning show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Mitch. You got Rod, you got Chris. Of course, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. The Betting Tools show as well. Nerfies from Mitch, Rod Zawacki, and Chris with their NHL Puck Dogs video series. Ron Romanelli's with his Major League Baseball video series, every game on the board. Tomorrow there will be a drop and a jam session from Jay from the NBA at 4 p.m. Eastern Time live here on the channel. Mike Davis with his afternoon shows on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And, of course, Nerfies and Yerfies from Nick Menken as well here on the channel. Don't forget Mills with his prop picks videos. So you check those all out. All right, that's going to do it for our show tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in our cappers here from the show. We're going to wait goodbye to guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you.